CBN, BDCs, FX, the current volatility, and how it's affecting you and I as Nigerian citizens. The effects of this decision has been very evident. You go to the market now, everyone now talks about rates. So I'm going to be analyzing this whole data in this video. So many people, there is massive really it came from a place of will I say anger, which is justified. Hello guys, how you all doing? If this is your first time watching, my name is Glory Ifoma. You're welcome to my channel. So today we're going back to businessing and financing with ease, and the topic or the focus of today is CBN, BDCs, FX, the current volatility, and how it's affecting you and I. It's no news that on the 27th of July, the CBN governor made a very rather, I would say, shocking revelation, because it's not something which we all anticipated, that is going to stop the sales of FX to BDC operators, because of one or two reasons which I'll later on be expatiating in this video. Since then till now, the money market has been on a long run. It's been the volatility and every other thing inclusive has been top notch. I'm going to be analyzing this whole data in this video. So one of the major reasons for the introduction of BDCs around 1989 was in order to increase the accessibility of FX in the retail end of the market. By retail end of the market, I mean you and I, the common man on the streets that probably need FX to travel, such as say personal travel allowance. You're traveling abroad, you need some foreign, say USD, to do one or two things over there for business travel allowance, and these have different amounts that were apportioned for each of these functions. And also say you want to pay school fees abroad or things like that. So that was the reason, and due to the difficulties that was faced by most commercial banks in meeting up with the demand, that is the major reason for the introduction of BDCs as at then. Mind you, between then and now, that's about 32 years ago, and population has increased, demand has increased, the demand for FX, owing to the fact that the economic situation of the country has caused a lot of movement. So many people are relocating abroad. So the need and the pressure for the demand of FX has skyrocketed. So you can't even compare 32 years ago and now that this ban is being implemented. But obviously, and mind you, this is like not even the first time for which CBN is implementing a ban on BDCs. The first time was around 2016, due to the fall in prices of oil. As you all know, like oil is one of the major revenues in Nigeria, in terms of foreign revenues. Then again, it was uplifted towards the end because due to the ban that was placed then, immediately that was done, the rate of Naira to dollar increased, and its impact was very evident then. So towards the end of the year, the ban was uplifted, and this increased the accessibility and things were stabilized a little bit. The official CBN rate and the rate used by most of these BDC, or rates used in the parallel market. The parallel market, in other words, is the black market, the market which you and I go and buy dollar on the streets. Is different from the official rates that has been set by CBN. But from time immemorial, these rates have always been different from the official CBN rates. So when this ban was uplifted, this stabilized things a little bit, and in terms of the value of Naira rose a little bit. Then in 2020 again, there was another ban, which was as a result of COVID-19, which had a lot of that brought a lot of economic difficulties as at then, even for the government as a whole. So in order to cope the whole situation and stabilize the value of Naira, that was done too. But now then, for the announcement on the 27th of July, the purpose for this, or the reason for this, is entirely different. I would say it came from a place of anger, which is justifiable from CBN's point of view. It came from a place of disappointment in terms of the authority that has been abused by the BDC operators. It came from a place of wanting to set things right, and it came from a place of maybe a little punishment. I don't know how, that's just how I maybe feel. Okay, so since then, it's not been easy for both CBN, for both we, the ordinary person, and the BDC operators. So we're going to be analyzing all of that impact, and it's going to be very practical because I'm going to be showing you from Excel to graphs and everything how this is impacting us literally.
Guys, just in order to give you a better visual effect of the movement in rates and how this is affecting the naira, I'm going to be drawing my reference from a popular website known as Aboki FX. Aboki FX collates data from Lagos parallel market. I'm going to be taking my data as at the closing rate on the 9th of September. Today is the 10th, but because it's still very early, as you can see, it's 4 a.m. in the morning. Markets are not opened yet, so I'm going to be using data from the closing rate on the 9th of September. On the 9th of September, USD closed at 540, pounds closed at 740, and euro closed at 632. Now let's look at the rate from 3 days back. This is the 7th of September, which is I think a Tuesday. USA closed at 532. Now there's been a rise in terms of rates between Tuesday and Thursday of about 8 naira. Now when I'm talking about rise, it means the value of naira is actually falling. While rates are increasing, the exchange rate is increasing, the value of naira is falling. So there's been a rapid rise of about 8 naira, which is a lot within that time space. Now, in order for us to really get the visual effect of this, let's look at the dates, the data from days back. This is 3 days back analysis. Now let's go to say let's go to August. As you can see, this is 25th of August. USD closed in parallel market rate. The reason I keep emphasizing on parallel market rates is because the parallel market rate is actually different from CBN rate. Okay, so the parallel market rate is the rate you can probably get on the street, like I earlier mentioned. On the 25th of August, from references from Aboki, it closed at 521. So within the 25th of August to the 9th of September, there's been a rapid rise in exchange of about 19 naira. Um, let's look at CBN rate. Now, on the 9th of September, as you can see here, I need you to look at this properly. This is CBN rate. So on the 9th of September, CBN rate is 410.47, the official CBN rate. So while CBN rate is 410.47, in parallel market, they're actually selling at 540. That is a whole lot of difference. So as you can see, from the 25th of August to the 9th of September, CBN has maintained the same rate all through 410. Also, the rates have been maintained. However, rates in the parallel market has been dangling here and there.
So why did CBN, take this rather sudden decision given the economic situation of the country? Yeah, the BDC operators themselves have not been fair and just in terms of how they handled the whole authority given to them. For example, CBN will say, okay, I'm going to sell FX to you at a certain rate. You're only permitted to sell to at the retail end of the market at this particular rate. But no, they're going to top it up and top it up. And by so doing, this is rather decreasing the value of Naira and making it difficult. And also for the fact that from what CBN said, that some of them have been used instead of retail sales of FX, they are now doing wholesale. So you find situations where some of these BDCs do millions of dollar worth of transaction, and BDC feel like and CBN feels like there is something fishy, it's manipulative, it's fraud, and there's a lot of dishonesty within that circle. And also, apart from the fact that it's really difficult for CBN to regulate this sector of the economy because of those who are involved, while it's rather easy to regulate commercial banks, which are already under regulation by CBN. Another very important reason noted by CBN, which is also understandable, is the fact that most of these BDCs are supposed to are permitted to have one licenses, but most of them will use different company names to get different licenses. So it was a growing biz, like it's real business, and the amount of application that was being received by the CBN governor is like was so alarming, which means there is something definitely wrong. So because of that, deep investigations were going on, and due to all these other factors, CBN decided to, arrive at this rather drastic decision, which we are all reaping the fruits of it currently. So let's go and analyze. I'm here with my laptop so that we can analyze this properly. So as of the 27th of July 2021, when this ban was put in place, rates were, I'm taking my data from Aboki FX, which is a very popular website. I'm also going to drop the link in collate data, FX data from Lagos parallel market as at the 27th. And mind you, in Aboki FX, when there's a particular rate, say, let me take for example 500 in real, like in on the streets, when you go to the street, you can add like extra 2 or 3 naira. Say if you have in Aboki FX about 500 naira exchange between from naira to dollar on the street, it might be 502 or 503, but some dealers and FX do use exact rate as found in Aboki, but you should just bear that in mind. So as at the 27th of July, when this ban was put in place,
X was 505. Between the 27th of July and as at the 9th of September, where I'm drawing my reference from, that is about 44 days interval. Okay, so between that 27th to the 9th of September, rates have moved from 505 to 540. 505 to 540, that is about 35 naira increase. In other words, naira has devalued in relative to USD by 35 naira. And like I said, whatever affects USD in the short or long run is going to affect other currencies. So even if you look at other currencies between these days, you'll find out that it's moved, devaluing naira. So now I'm going to use this to try to estimate how the impact is going to be like, given the following assumptions: that the variance in terms of FX, it's constant over time, given the same amount of days. That the variance in terms of FX, that is the consistency with which FX increase, is constant given this number of days, which is 44 days interval. So given another 44 days interval from the 9th of September, that's going to give us the 23rd of October. So between the 9th of September to the 23rd of October, that's going to be about 525 naira to a USD. That's a lot. Given another 44 days interval, that's going to be around the 6th of December 2021, and another 35 naira increase is going to give us around 610 naira to a USD. And another 44 days is 19th of January 2022, and it's going to give us about 645 naira to a USD. Now, this is the amazing thing about this is, from what I'm even seeing in terms of how the rates are increasing, it's more of a geometric progression. That is 1, 2, 4, 8, or sort of 4, 6. Because now let's see, from the 9th of September, pardon, to the 10th of September, there was a sharp increase from 540 to 545, from what we see here, to 545. If you look at the rate, the closing rate from Aboki FX. And now, like I mentioned before, this rate, even if you go to the local market, so you want to go to Aboki, you might even get it higher than this. From some of the rates I got on that same day, it was about 555. That is a lot. Let's look at the impact from the graphical point of view. Now, here is our graphical representation of the simple analysis we just did. From the 27th, look at where we are. As at the 19th, a steady growth at a steady rate.
between the 9th of September to the 10th of September, rates moved from 545 to 5 from 540 to 545. That is already what took about 44 days to accomplish. In just one day, there was this huge amount of increase. And I'm just saying this because it's about KFX. Going to the streets, rates are at about 555. It is that bad. Let's have a visual effect of this. As you can see, this is a progression here. This is a progression here. And say this continues by the time we get to February. By the time we get to February, if nothing is done urgently, by the time we get to February 2022 or March, you should be looking at the rate of, say, 900 naira to a dollar. What's going to happen to the ordinary man on the street? That's the question which only the future can tell. Until next time, guys, it's your girl.